back. Our next guest is a Reinhardt Brucker, all dressed up on the Saturday morning. It's like, what do you
suit, tie, everything.
Well, they say come overdressed rather than underdressed, and I have a face for radio.
That's what I tell my wife all the time.
That's right.
Don't go to a Christmas party in jeans. You're embarrassing yourself and me.
I had a dream the other night that we brought the show to TV. And I'm looking at our executive producer over here, Jeff Haley. He's going, yeah, hey, let's do that. Just put some cameras in the room. We could be on, Channel 8. We could simulcast.
We can do a live feed, right?
Certainly, Ryan.
I'm ready for the live feed this morning.
You're dressed for
obviously.
I didn't know whether they'd have one or not. I just wanted to be ready.
Well, you got to be ready because, you work on Saturdays, I'm sure.
Saturdays, Sundays, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever.
Yeah.
Realty USA.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you didn't start there.
I did not. We actually started with my partner, Rick Leisure Realtors in 1986. And then slowly we melded and merged with Realty USA, which is now a non-franchise, family-owned company, but it's the largest non-franchise in New York State.
Did it start as a franchise kind of thing?
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh.
No.
Interesting.
The USA thing kind of, makes me think that there were branches everywhere.
No, well, actually, the Realty USA name came from a company in Albany, which they merged with, and they adopted that name when they merged with the Buffalo headquarters. So there's the Buffalo headquarters and then the Albany Capital District, they call it. And they just kind of melded into Realty USA because it says what the company does.
Okay.
And so you guys are actually the Rick Leisure Realtors, all of that group.
Exactly.
Okay,
yep.
good.
And then we took on, of course, the Realty USA group. So there's about, I think there's close to 60 offices statewide right now. We're going into Pennsylvania now.
All right, clarify for me, though, because in a lot of ways you are a go-to guy in the local real estate biz.
Well,
you wear a lot of hats.
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly.
Yeah, I've through the years, I've enjoyed sharing my, knowledge and experience with students. So I teach at the board level, the Real Estate Association, for the new licensees and also the existing continuing ed licensees. I'm also the trainer for our company. And I figured, I was there brand new, starry-eyed, looking at the world going, boy, I'm going to sell real estate because I love houses and I love people. Yes.
Then you learn to hate people, don't you? Oh, you don't have to answer that.
No.
I did.
And then he says, I'm going to sell real estate because I love houses.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to sell real estate. Yeah.
And then I'm going to fail miserably. That's what I did.
Is the passion still there, though, with younger people who want to get into it?
Yeah, the younger people, they come in, and, of course, they're all enthusiastic, et cetera. But the idea is it's a business, and I tell them all the same thing. I said, in any business, there's no perfect business. But people will beat a path to your door if you create enough value for people. If you create enough value for people, they like you and they trust you, that's what it's all about. You will make more money and serve more people. The key is serving more people. Do what you love, the money will follow. Type of thing.
That's actually sums it up very well. I like that.
Unless you work in radio. No.
Right. Then you keep knocking your head against the wall. There's no money there, right?
Now, Alex, how do you feel about radio?
Yeah, see, now you two are in the same boat. Because, and I'll use a radio analogy. I mean, kids come in, they come out of college, and they still have this pie-in-the-sky viewpoint of what the business is all about. And I'm sure you see a little of that. How's it changed since you were in the trenches?
Well, the internet, of course, has made a big difference. People say, well, 10 years ago they said, well, in 10 years they won't need real estate people anymore. And I say, well, that's not true, because now what you have is you have too much information, and you got to wade through it, and who are you going to have to interpret it? And because of all the rules and regs that the state and the federal come around, you've got to do something to interpret all that, and who are you going to look to?
That's a good point, because back in the 90s when I was selling homes, it was a big fear for the realtors, as you know, where they were kind of like, oh, no, this internet thing's coming out, and the computers are getting better and better, and we were, our jobs are going to be out the door. But you guys have so much paperwork now with the laws that have changed over the last 15 years that you've got to sign this one, sign that one, sign that one. The customer and the client has to agree, sign all this extra stuff that we didn't have to 15, 20 years ago.
Exactly. We have about
so you're not going to get rid of the realtors.
Well, it's usually about a 14 to 20 page contract right now with all the addendums. And then we also make it subject to attorney's approval, so it's not really a contract. We're not really doing anything until the attorneys accept it. The other thing, though, that is interesting, we're a good service provider, but talk about creating value, and I was talking to Steve offline. One of the things I do this time of year is I call my client base and my people and friends that talk about the STAR exemption, and you'd be surprised how many people think they have it in place and they don't. But there's, we'll come back with that.
Yeah, because you mentioned there's STAR exemptions.
Yes, there's multiple.
So there's more than one. We'll talk about that. We still have one more segment. You can stick around.
Okay.
I'll put some money in your meter.
Oh, thank you.
Although it is Saturday. Property Source Radio till 10. Stay with us here at Sports Radio 950 ESPN.